I have a global trends report by the U.S. National Intelligence Council. They, by the way, predicted the pandemic back in 2017. And now they are warning that the next 20 years will be chaotic and turbulent. Population growth will slow down, there will be massive aging of the populace, and the climate will change. Storms, hurricanes, floods, and heat waves will lead to an increase in migration. International relations will become unpredictable. Ties will not be established, but on the contrary will break apart, they believe. Famine will increase. The pandemic will have a long-term impact. Namely, there will be growing distrust of medicine, science, authorities, and politics, resulting in protests and riots. Well, we understand that there is a good likelihood of it happening. The ending, though, is very interesting. Every person will have their own truth.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Imagine that, the National Intelligence Council reaching such an aesthetic conclusion. Every person has their own truth. How do you feel about this? That according to the report of the U.S. National Intelligence Council, there is nothing good in store for us. If at least there was a light at the end of the tunnel, but no, it's just the opposite.
Oh no, there will be light at the end of the tunnel.
Really?
Yes.
And what about having nothing good ahead of us?
This too is light.
It's a kind of light?
What matters is that reasons are emerging for us to change the whole of humanity.
So the fact that a person is worried that nothing good is ahead for us, you think is a good thing?
This too is good, yes. One should be looking for ways to change things, give humanity a good future, and it will go completely wild.
So when they told us, don't worry, things will get better.
A bright future.
Yes, well, you remember we were told all the time in the Soviet Union that things would get better, that in 10 years we would arrive at communism.
Well, that's right.
And capitalism promised us, don't worry, business will grow and everything will get better. Do you think that giving people hope for a better future is not a very good idea today?
It's not good because it does not flow in the same direction as the course of nature. Nature must force us to correct ourselves, to change. But if we have such bright prospects as both the capitalists and the communists depicted for us, then we do not need to correct ourselves. Everything is fine and peaceful.
We hope. We have faith that things will get better, that's all.
Of course. What did those who propagated this ideology tell us? You let us lead, and everything will be great for you in the future. In the meantime, go on as you were and be content, and so on.
So what should happen? I have this question. What should happen for a person to have such a feeling as you have, that I have to change? What would trigger it?
Well, it's not so easy.
It's a process?
First, we have to see a bleak picture of the future in case we don't change. We need to see a clear dependency, a connection between man's internal state and the external state of nature.
Meaning that if man changes, everything around him changes as well?
Yes, and if not, then it won't happen. Nature influences us this way through an opposite negative connection. It will force us to change through all sorts of problems so that we discover this dependency.
Yes, that's what's important, finding the dependency between me changing and what I see before me.
Yes, I will come to the conclusion that I have no other way out. Then I will begin to realize that not only do I have no other way out, but thank God there is no other way out. Because this is how I break out of this rotting, beastly existence and become a self-changing being. In which direction do I change? This is something that we have to find and correct expression for, the right manner for these changes. A human being is one who strives to be like the Creator, and the Creator is great. Unified force of nature, the giving force, birthing everything, emanating from itself. And I must become like this force. This means that I must reach a state where I treat everything that is outside of me with infinite love. And then everything will fall into place. Everything the communists were talking about.
It's correct, actually.
Philosophers, Marxist philosophers, all of it was true.
For one to go through such a transformation, I can't even imagine what one must go through in order to come to a state of likeness to the Creator, emanating love, kindness, and warmth.
One will desire it from within, more than life.
And you don't need anything else, just this?
Just this, and not to think of myself that I will change, but to think about how the whole world will change into the quality of love and bestowal. Through man, the animate, vegetative, and inanimate levels will begin to change. And in the end, absolutely everything, the still, vegetative, animate, and human levels will be at the degree of mutual, infinite, boundless love. Then, in this huge desire, mutual on all these four levels, the upper force will manifest and envelop everything within itself, and the whole world will take on one single form. That's all. Today, the foundation for this is being laid, the foundation for all this. We must properly give the right shape to this action of nature and our personal aspiration, and aim it correctly through our appeal to all of mankind.
Well, I don't know what to add here. My question is, will this happen?
It will definitely happen, because man is a sentient being. Therefore, he can be intimidated, brought to his knees, coerced, and thus be taught. While we can train an animal to the point of becoming a well-behaved animal, we can change a human being such that he rises above himself. I consider this report by the current-day experts as very acceptable and realistic, to put it mildly.
So you're saying that if the changes in man that you speak of happen earlier, this plan will fail, 20 years of total darkness and so on.
It doesn't have to be 20 years. It's clear that it is still going to happen. A wave of this pandemic has to pass. This one, then there'll be another one, and another, a different one. All kinds, in different places. It won't just be one huge wave. There will be many different waves from different sides that will all batter us, and we will not be able to keep up.
To react, to create vaccines.
No, we won't be able to do anything, but each time we will keep up with it because we will be getting smarter. We will agree more and more with the upper force that coerces us, so the pandemic will subside and give way to the next wave. And we will try to cope with the next wave too through our own effort, trying to do something about it. And then we will see, no, it is better that we change in a particular way, and then it will not affect us. That is, we will come to see how selectively these waves of all kinds of suffering will affect us, forcing us to change.
Where will this wisdom come from? From what source? This will be our first realization and the most important one?
It will come from the pain.
From pain, I see. And what is this that comes from nature? Why is it battering us?
Of course. What else can it be? There's nothing else out there.
And then the understanding of where it is leading us will be greater and greater, right?
Yes, with each wave, greater and greater.
How many impacts of such waves do you anticipate?
It depends on the extent of humanity's intelligence.
How fast we get smarter, right?
And I'm very skeptical about that.
All right, let's hope we get smarter fast.
That's already up to us. Here you already engage another level of consciousness.
Us. Who did you mean just now?
Those who understand this, and those who have to explain all of it.